Hello everyone, welcome to another video of mine. It's Command AA, and this is another Chelsea transfer news daily video for you guys, where I'll be keeping you guys up to date with all the latest Chelsea news in the past 24 hours, in the past week or so. We've got some major developments on some top players. Haaland, one of my favourite players, a generational talent, if I say so. Declan Rice, news update on Declan Rice, and I'll be discussing the extent of Ben Chilwell's injury that he got last night, unfortunately. I'll be discussing how long he'll be out for, the extent of the injury, the type of injury. But one thing is for certain, he will be missing the Arsenal game, which is extremely unfortunate. And I'll be giving my thoughts and opinions on the transfer news, delving into more detail. But before I do get into it, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and comment down below your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. But without further ado, let's get straight into today's Chelsea transfer news video. Now, starting off with the negative news, let's get the negative news out of the way. Now, reported by Matt Law has broken the news and the silence on the Ben Chilwell situation. We are all really anxious, and it's really disappointing because we know that both Ben Chilwell and Reece James, they're both, they're our first choice fullback pairing, and on form they have been the best fullback pairing in Europe, in my personal opinion, and according to many rival fans and fans around the world. This season, both of them have been tremendous. So it's a real shame. We know if Reece James has had a scan on his knee injury, we know the extent of his injury. He will be out for at least 2-3 games. Now, thankfully, unfortunately, he won't have to get surgery. It is more of a last resort situation, a worst case scenario. For me, he needs to be able to get some rest so he allowing his knee to recover in the best possible way naturally. But it is a shame, Azpilicueta, I know it's fantastic defensive cover, bringing experience, but Reece James being injured, especially considering he has been potentially our player of the season, it's disappointing to see that he is injured for this time being. Now, Chilwell. Now, what Matt Law has essentially said is that Chelsea are hopeful that Ben Chilwell is not facing a long spell on the sidelines, even though the left-back's ankle injury could rule him out of Christmas and New Year fixtures. No break or any signs of a serious problem. Could be some minor ligament damage. Now, this is not good news. This is not good news. Now, in a sense, it's good news because his ankle is not fractured or is it broke. And there is, the ligament damage is very minor. So, in that regard, it's good news. Now, the reason why I'm saying it's not good news is during the Christmas period, we have a lot of fixtures. We played yesterday, we play on Boxing Day. Boxing Day is only in 4 days, right? That's not too bad. But then after Boxing Day, we play on the 28th. We only have a 2-day difference. We play on Boxing Day on the 26th, and then we play on the 28th. I mean, that is incredible. And the high level of, the travelling that's involved, the high level of the intensity in the Premier League games, the amount of rotation you need, it's crazy busy, and we have so many fixtures. And if we are going to mount some sort of title challenge, you need your best players fit. And for Chilwell to be injured for this certain. And the other issue is, it's not a situation at right back where Azpilicueta is, fantastic cover for a few games. The level of drop-off we have in the left-back department is staggering. You've got Ben Chilwell, who's a world-class left-back, one of the best left-backs in the Premier League, and then you've got Emerson Alonso, who is a massive drop-off. And yes, we have depth, but it's not depth in quality. So we have a massive issue there, meaning he's out for at least 10 days, which is a massive problem, which is really disappointing. It is going to hinder our performances. We like to play down the central areas, we like to play down the left, that's why we attack the most. And Chilwell being an attacking fullback with a big engine and good crosses, that is going to hinder our game slightly. So, and it's going to impact the back line. When you have a back line consistently playing together all the time, gelling together, it is going to disrupt it a bit. So it's really disappointing, but again, it could have been worse. That is the main thing we need to take away from this. It could have been worse. Hopefully, Chilwell, he does have a speedy recovery, because we need both Reece James and Ben Chilwell fit as soon as possible. Now, getting on to the exciting stuff, and that is the transfer news. Now, that is on Haaland and that is on Declan Rice. Now, this has been broken by Angelo Mangiante. He is the correspondent for Sky Sports Italy. Reliability level, he isn't the most reliable of journalists, but I would say he's probably about mid-tier. Certainly reliable. He has got some stories correct, but at the same time, he hasn't got other stories right. So I wouldn't take it as gospel, but he has got some credibility. Now, Chelsea, he's saying that Chelsea have two main targets, Declan Rice and Erling Haaland. Now, the Erling Haaland, we've kind of known for a little bit. There hasn't been anyone credible reporting it, Fabrizio Romano or Matt Law. But there has been some whispers and rumours, and we know that every club in Europe is going to be interested in Haaland. He's the next biggest thing. He's a generational talent. I don't need to get into too much detail about the player he is, because everyone here should know who Haaland is. He's Dortmund's number 9. He's been phenomenal this season. Last season was breaking all sorts of records. He's broken all sorts of records in Europe and the Champions League for Norway. He's Norwegian. and the physical build that he has. You know, he is suited and tailor-made for the Premier League because of his physicality, his pace, his strength, his finishing. He's so clinical, and the fact that he's only 20 years of age is frightening, because when he hits his prime, 25, 26, he will be the best striker in the world. I have no doubt about it. You know, his quality. And the best bit about Erling Haaland is he has a release clause. Now, it's not going to be activated this summer, hence why I do have some reservations. I am kind of skeptical because his release clause is not active this summer. It's more active in the summer of 2022, which is around £66 million. And the other stumbling block we have is his agent, Mino Raiola. Now, Mino Raiola is a super agent who is an agent of, you know, all the best clients in world football. And the main issue we have is Chelsea don't directly deal with Mino Raiola specifically. You know, we don't get along with him. Our relationship has been deteriorating recently. It's the main reason why Lukaku never joined Chelsea, because of Mino Raiola, because he demands, you know, stupendous agent fees. You know, we're talking in the region of 30, 40 million pounds when it comes to agent fees. It's extortionate. It's something that Marina Granovskaya and Chelsea don't want to pay, and it's completely understandable. You know, it's fair enough, the amount of agent fees that he charges, and you know, he always tries to milk out the clubs to get the most amount of money. He always goes where he can get the best salary, the best wages. He's scum. He's basically a parasite in football, and it's a shame that he is his agent. But for £66 million for Erling Haaland's a release clause, for the potential that he has, I wouldn't certainly deal with Mino Raiola. But because Haaland is such a quality player, he's a world-class player, and we have to get this deal done, considering Man City will be in for him, Man United, PSG, Barcelona, all the best clubs in Europe will be in for him. For me, we have to make this one exception just for Erling Haaland. I think we should do it. How do I see this being realistic? We do have a chance. You know, we are Chelsea. You know, we've seen this summer that we can get the best deals done. But it's a case of, for me, I don't see it being realistic for this specific summer, only because his release clause is not going to be activated. So you directly have to negotiate with Borussia Dortmund. And of course, he's their most prized asset, so they're not going to let him go easily. They're going to be quite reluctant to let him go. So I think that maybe not this summer, and he has already come out and said that he is currently happy staying at Dortmund. Fabrizio Romano, we know the reliability and credibility he has, already said that Haaland is already happy at Dortmund, and Chelsea haven't really been aggressive in their pursuit for him at this minute in this moment in time. Now, Declan Rice, however, is a different story. Declan Rice, whatever you think about him as a player, we all need to accept that this is a deal that's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen in the upcoming January transfer window, only because he's West Ham's best player. He's their most prized asset. They're going to charge at least 80 to 90 million pounds. It's something that Chelsea don't want to pay. He's not worth that fee. They're going to wait until the summer window. Summer window when Declan Rice will maybe push for a move. You know, where Chelsea are going to, you know, have more funds available, where they can let more players go. You know, mid-season it's really difficult to get deals done. I think Declan Rice is a player that can definitely sign for Chelsea next summer. I think that it is going to happen. I think it's inevitable. You know, he is Chelsea bound. We need to accept this, whether you rate him as a player or not. I don't rate him as a player that much. I think he's got good qualities. He's got good attributes. You know, he's young. He's 21. He's got potential to grow. He's got a good ceiling ahead of him. But I just think the fee of, you know, 60 to 70 million pounds, that can be well spent elsewhere in other positions. I just think that there's other players in the same exact position, that number 6 athletic position, that can do a better job, that's world class for a cheaper fee. You know, Bruno Guimaraes from Lyon, you know, he's my favourite player. You know, 40 to 50 million pounds. You know, same age pretty much. Athletic DM, fantastic ball playing abilities. He's got fantastic attributes to, you know, suit Frank Lampard's system. And he's a much cheaper option. So I think that, you know, these certain things that it does put me off Declan Rice, but we need to accept that it's going to happen. He's still a good player. He's got room to develop and grow. It's going to happen. But what do you guys think? Do you rate Declan Rice as a player? Leave me your thoughts, opinions in the comment section below. But I'm going to wrap up the Chelsea transfer news daily video for you guys. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to smash like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and I'll see you guys for my next video. Peace.